folks, I'm Amy Wall. Before we dive into the incredible insights Todd Howard has to offer, let me share a little bit about myself. I'm passionate about finding tools and frameworks that simplify the intricate dance of building a business. Now, we all know that execution is key, right? But here's the thing, great planning within existing frameworks transforms the unfamiliar into the familiar. And when something becomes familiar, it becomes infinitely easier to execute. That's the sweet spot we all aim for. And today, Todd Howard is about to unveil a simple 5-step plan that not only simplifies, but reimagines the process of finding your unique niche and building your business around it. So here's a snippet of the conversation I recently had with Todd from Grow a Niche Business, who can turn complexity into clarity and execution into excellence. Enjoy. Hi, Todd. I'm so happy to talk to you today because I'm a value builder advisor. And I talk to a lot of people in the value builder community who are financial consultants, CPAs, we're professionals in that industry. And we have a lot of product. And I'm a coach, so I have frameworks and a lot of product and a lot of talent that I can bring to the table for clients. But we have a tendency to want to talk about everything we can do versus, what are our authentic voices in that particular piece of the business. How would you approach that?
Yeah. So what you're describing, I think a lot of people do, we invest in these certifications and these programs, and we want to bring all these things to the client and say, look at all the tools that we have available to help you. And we're hoping that impresses the client and they'll go, oh, wow, you have all these resources. You must be the best choice. I don't think that's how customers think, though. I think customers are asking the question, yeah, but what can you do for me?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to use all this stuff in a way that really meets my personal needs? And so I would recommend to come back and answer your question. I would recommend that you not talk about all those tools when you're talking to a client. Instead, I would think about the unique approach that you can apply to a unique problem that they may have. If you can come to them and essentially say, listen, I don't work with everybody. I don't try and solve all problems. I know that there are certain people that have this particular problem, and I have developed a unique approach to focus on solving that problem. Now, that problem may be a sizable problem. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a really small thing, but the more you can clarify, this is my unique approach, the better off you're going to be. Because what you do is now you've changed the conversation with the client. What you're now talking about is, are you, as a client, are you best served by my approach? Do you have this unique problem?
Mm-hmm.
If you do, I'm a great service provider for you. If not, I can make recommendations to others. And you haven't brought up the tools at all. But now that's the first question in somebody's mind. Okay, do I have this problem? If I do, I'm interested. Then they're going to ask, okay, now tell me how you do that. Then you can bring the tools into the conversation. But until they know that you're uniquely focused on their problem or uniquely qualified to solve their problem, they're not really interested. They're not really listening yet.
Okay. So what questions do we ask ourselves? And what's the tool that you have that helps us kind of find that unique approach to
Yep.
what we do?
So what we're talking about, to kind of put a label on it, what we're talking about is, how do you find your niche? How do you
Oh,
find this authentic voice? How do you find this subset that you're going to focus on? And let me start by saying what you shouldn't do. Most people go about this by choosing a market first. They say, I would like to work with women-owned businesses that make $3 million or more. And
it's a
so they
traditional way. Yeah.
focus on that market. And the problem is, when you choose a market,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't prevent other people from choosing the same market.
True.
And so as a result, you're not in a defensible position. And it's very
Ah,
important, if you're going to find a niche, You need to find a defensible position in a
Right.
market.
That's that monopoly control we talk about in Value Builder. Got it. The defensible
That's
position.
correct.
Like that. Okay.
Yep. So I have a different way to run at this. What I do is I help people find their unique approach, and then that unique approach leads them to a market, but it
Mhm.
gives them a defensible position once they get there. So I'll give you an example. I was working with someone in the financial advisory realm recently to find their niche, and she landed on accountability. She is a profit
Okay.
first coach. She has a slew of other tools available to her, but she found that there were a subset of the market. There was a subset of the market, and their biggest problem was that they did not have a clear plan and someone holding them accountable to making changes to their behavior that would
Hmm.
ultimately lead them to profitability.
Mm.
And so she leaned into creating a product that was really designed to help hold someone accountable and make changes over certain periods of time that would lead them to profitability.
Oh,
Well, if you know kind of deep down inside, the truth is
yeah.
you're holding yourself back
Mhm.
because you're dragging your feet or you're cutting corners, you're avoiding the hard truths, then her message could really resonate with you. And you
Mm.
might say, Andrea, I'm hiring you. I want to work with you because you're going to hold me accountable. Everyone else is going to give me forms that I should fill out. They're going to give me great advice, and I know I'm not going to do it. But your approach is really sort of centered on something I need, which is accountability. And then they say, Andrea, tell me how much it is to work with you.
Mm.
And so it's the unique approach, finding that a unique approach led Andrea to a subset of the market that needs to be held accountable. Now she's got this authentic voice that she can use in her marketing and attract the people that are most likely to hire her.
That's like that's an aha moment right there. And so I know you have a 5-step framework because I've been following you for a while. What is that 5-step framework and how do we get to our own aha moment?
Yep. I've developed, it's called the niche framework. There's 5
Mm.
parts to it. And where we start is looking at your unique abilities. We want to
Mm.
leverage as much of your experiences, perspectives, knowledge as we possibly can. Everyone's unique. You've got a unique take on things. We take inventory of those unique abilities to start. Then we look at what I call the customer journey. Now, everyone knows that you're trying to solve a customer's problem, but when you think of the problem, you think of kind of one little component that they're dealing with.
Mhm.
I like to back up and look at the customer's journey, where they're trying to go in the big scheme of things, because it allows me to say, you can help them here, you can help them here, you can help them in this way, and now we can create a very unique journey that we accompany the client on to help them meet their needs. So now we've got the makings of a unique approach. The third thing that we do is we look at the competition. We want
Mm.
to make sure that we are not doing something that someone else is. Otherwise,
Mhm.
we're in an immediate price war. So we make some further tweaks so it's really unique. The fourth step that we take is choosing a market. And this always surprises people. Again, people want to start by
Number
choosing the
4.
market.
Yeah.
Yep. But if you go through the process and find your unique approach first, then you can say or ask yourself, who is best served by my unique approach? And the
Mhm.
answer is often pretty easy. Andrea knew she had accountability to offer people who need that accountability. That was just a very logical choice. That's
Mhm.
the subset of her market or the subset of the market she goes after. The fifth step that we take is we design a niche product. It's important to take all of these things we've learned and actually build a product that delivers that. Most people will niche their marketing, but then deliver a general product. And that's always a letdown. In the sales process, you feel like, oh, they get me. And this is the only person in the world that can help me. And then you go through, the same 5-step program that everybody else does. And the client gets to the end and they don't refer you to their friends because they just say, yeah, they had these tools. Everybody's the same. And that's what you don't want. You need your niche identity to appear in your product. And I help people do that. Once you have all this in place, now you have a defensible niche business. There can be 10,000, I don't know how many value builder advisors there are. There can be 10,000 more than there are today, and
Right.
you are fine. You've found a niche for yourself based on a unique approach that connects you with a subset of the market. And you're safe. You offer something valuable, and your business is going to grow as a result.
That's amazing. Thank you. I can't wait to work with you. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
You bet. You bet. Glad it can help.